Of course, we as Christians keep the true Sabbath. I know there's people out there that say you have to keep Saturday as your Sabbath, but these very same people do not keep this 7 year Sabbath that the Torah commands, nor do they keep the Jubilee, which is another Sabbath that the Torah commands. So they don't keep these two Sabbaths. They just want to focus on pick and choose what they want in the Bible, and that's not biblical. So, how do we as Christians keep the true Sabbath? I'm going to explain it. So, in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11, God commands Moses to keep the Sabbath, but starts out with God saying, remember the Sabbath day. But you need to know that remembering and keeping the true Sabbath are two different animals. The mere fact that the Torah commands Moses to remember the Sabbath day shows that the seventh day is actually a shadow of the reality. Let's go further. What's the reality? It's found in Genesis chapters 1 through 2. In the creation account, whenever God creates something in days 1 through 6, it says there's morning and evening the first day, morning and evening the fourth day. You get my point? Morning and evening the sixth day. Days 1 through 6, it always ends morning and evening. But when it comes to the seventh day that God kept, there's no morning and evening. But why? That's because God has been in perpetual rest since creation all the way to the present and will be until the second coming in the new creation. So God has always been in perpetual rest. That seventh day of creation has not ended at all. So the idea is, how do we join ourselves and unite ourselves into the perpetual rest that God is keeping? The answer is given in Hebrews chapter 4, and this is what we're going to talk about. It says right here in Hebrews 4:4, for he has spoken in a certain place of the seventh day in this way, and God rested on the seventh day from all his works. So it joins our faith in Christ with the seventh day of rest of Genesis chapter 2. You go on to Hebrews 4:10, for he who has entered his rest has himself also ceased from his works as God did from his. So we enter God's rest, we cease from our works because God completed all through the work of Jesus Christ. And in Hebrews 4:7, when do we enter that rest? It says, today, if you will hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. So the day that I believe in Jesus Christ is the day that I entered into God's perpetual rest. I enter God's rest by believing in Jesus Christ and following him. That's what I do. I enter today. All of us who believe in Christ enter today. We're in God's Sabbath rest. We're in God's Sabbath rest tomorrow. We're in God's Sabbath rest the day after that. And every day and every moment we believe in Christ. As a result, we have the freedom to worship on any day we want. We have the freedom to worship on a Sunday to remember the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And our Sabbath is a relationship and a union with God. And it's not just a ceremony on the seventh day. It's not just a location like the land of Canaan. It's having a united relationship with Jesus Christ on his true Sabbath. And that's how we as Christians keep the true Sabbath and not just a mere shadow.